Hello YouTubers, I want you to join me to go explore a self-governing island that is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It comprises of 18 rocky volcanic islands between Iceland and Norway, and also where you can get to see puffins. Welcome to Faroe Islands. In this video we're going to explore two of the main islands, Vagar and Streymoy. So I'm going to give you some tips before you're traveling to Faroe Islands, and these tips that I put together, they are quite important because they can really change your experience that you would have on the islands. So first we're going to start with Vagar Island, and this is where the airport is. So right when you land you are ready to tour the islands, and we're going to start all the way from the north and go all the way down to the south of the island. So first we're going to go to a lookout point of a beautiful waterfall called Múlafossur. It's pretty easy, you just drive up to the village at the northern part of the island and you just walk over to the lookout point. So just on top of the village of Gazadalur, where that lookout point is, there's also a beautiful sunset viewpoint. And with that said, once you get there for the sunset at the right time, and if you are lucky enough, you might be greeted by a really special guest called puffins. Another beautiful viewpoint is right in the village of Bøur. You get to see the view of the Drangarnir sea stack. In fact, we're gonna hike there next. So next, we're going to talk about this beautiful Drangarnir sea stack that can only be reached by a boat, or basically a boat tour, or you can actually hike there. With the hike itself, you do have to go with a tour guide. The hike, it takes about 4 hours out and back, but it is incredibly beautiful, and if you are lucky to get a sunny day like I did, you're just gonna be greeted by these vast sea stacks, and it's just beautiful. Next, we are going to go to the place where you see in all of the pictures of Faroe Islands. It is Trælanípa. This hike itself, it takes about 1 hour each way, and once you get to the edge of it, you will get greeted by this incredible view of the floating lake, and it gives you that illusion that the lake is just floating and it just flows into the ocean itself. And most importantly, guys, you want to spend as much time as you want there, because it's going to be one of the highlights of your trip to Faroe Islands. And also, if you do own a drone, this is the heaven for it. The place for this island that I'm going to point out is Witch's Finger Trail. On this trail itself, it starts from a village called Vagar, and in this village itself, it's also where I stayed in a hostel called Giljan Hostel, and this is the base of my accommodation for this island. Next, we're going to hop over to the island nearby called Stremouy. This is where the capital is, and you will also take the first tunnel in the Faroe Islands. The tunnel itself only gets charged on the return trip. First, we're going to go explore the northernmost village called Tjørnuvík. Tjørnuvík, it's known for surfing, and it's also a starting point for this really famous hike, a long one though that connects it to Saksun, and you also get such a great view of the sea stack called Risen Oak Killingin. So on the way to Tjørnuvík, just make sure to drop by the tallest waterfalls in Faroe Islands called Fossá. To get a great view of it, you actually do have to fly the drone from the street to really see the full height of it. Afterward, I want you to join me for a drive in this lovely rainy day, which is, you know, on brand with Faroe Islands, given that it rains a lot in this island. Or if you are nuts like me, you can actually hike to Saksun. Since this hike is really long and it's only one way, some people they would arrange a ride at the other end of the trail, so they don't have to do it out and back. In my case, I was, unlucky I couldn't find the ride, so I ended up doing it both, but it was doable. It took me over 4 hours. Okay, we made it. Welcome to Saksun. This village is small and peaceful and it's so beautiful. You can actually walk onto the black sand beach that you see in there. Beautiful, as you can see behind me. And look at that waterfall. On your way to Vestmanna, for the famous boat tour, make sure to stop by the lookout spot over Kvivik village at the bottom of the valley. It is so incredible. In Vestmanna, it's known for a boat tour that goes along the Vestmanna sea cliff for bird watching. And for the right season, you might be lucky that you're able to spot puffins on top of the cliffs.
I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have you.
So as you come down to the southern part of Streymoy Island, you will come to the capital, Tórshavn. Tórshavn is actually one of the smallest capitals in the world, and I put up these places of interest so you can actually just take a screenshot of it so you know where to visit when you are in town. Last but not least, we're going to go to the oldest village in Faroe Islands called Kirkjubøur. This village has the oldest turf house that is still operating, and it also has the remains of the really important cathedral in the Middle Age called Magnus. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to watch the second part to this Faroe Islands video series.